All right, this is the Gene Key book by Richard Rudd, and I'm going to make it my project to talk about every single section, every single chapter, 1 to 64. I'm going to give them their own video. I'm probably going to give them a couple, but this is me starting out fresh. I think this is a beautiful book. I want you to go see the intro video on this because there's just a little bit that I want to tell you about the book, about the formatting of the book, so that you understand that. And, not that you have to, it's all good. But this first gene key is the male gene key. So out of 64 gene keys, of course, it starts with male and female. Why not? But this is based off of the I Ching, and the shadow of this is entropy, which is wasted energy, chaos. The gift is freshness, and the siddhi is beauty. So, okay. The cool thing about the male energy is that it's all about entropy or disorganization or chaos. It's all about like that wasted energy. And when you're in a wasted energy space, you're almost like in a low energy space. So maybe in this book, he describes how it's like a numbness or a numbing, depression, like feeling low. But from that is so cool. So from that, you get freshness. So when we're experiencing entropy or chaos, we then don't want to stay there, right? Like that's not our human nature to want to stay in chaos necessarily, although, arguably that's another topic for another day. But when we're looking at the chaos for chaos, this male energy says, how can I now organize it or reorganize it? What's the new idea here? What am I going to come up with that's going to change things and make it less chaotic? And I just think that's so cool. So, I was saying in the last video, when I read this section, it resonated with me so hard, that I then went back to my human design chart and I was like, okay, this makes so much sense now because because it's both my design and my personality. Like they're both strongly lit up. Like that's something that highly resonates within me. And really now, like when we're talking about the repressive and reactive nature of this, we're talking about the repressive nature being depression. So like state of depression be caused by the freezing of a low frequency emotional state due to a mental collapse rooted in fear. Okay. But the frenetic or reactive nature, or the reactive nature in this key is frenetic. So almost like you're moving at all costs. Like you're pushing away all the feelings that you have. You're pushing away the low feelings, and you're just like, okay, as long as I go, I'm not going to feel any of this. I'm not going to feel low. I'm not going to feel depressed. I'm not going to feel like I'm in a chaotic state, because this energy that I'm exerting is, and I really almost like should read this because I don't want to do a disservice to Richard Rudd, but escaping feeling it at all costs. So instead of moving in harmony with this entropy by closing the doors and being alone, they immediately increase their activity and contact with others. Ooh, I'm seeing this in some people that I know. But also, like I said, I can see it in myself too, because I'm going to repeat myself a lot, but when I got the advice to go from my head to my heart, I was like, I don't understand, so it was potentially, as I was going through life, I was like, well, what am I going to learn next? What am I going to do? And how am I going to do this? And it just threw me into more chaos that I didn't realize I was going into, because I was ignoring the fact that I was ignoring who I was and what I wanted to do and who I wanted to be. It's all a no, right? I was like, no, you can't do that. So for me to break a lot of my conditioning it took a long time. I'm still doing it, but at least I'm now more aware of doing it, which is really exciting. So, the beauty, the gift is freshness, because when you're in a mode of creation, which this male key is from a mode of creation, you're into like the freshness of things, or you're coming up with fresh ideas. That's kind of the point of it. And I'm going to paraphrase a lot because, you know, I read this a few weeks ago and I didn't reread it, but we're talking about energy and fire and light, and we're talking about what happens, and, you know, from those elements, I suppose. So creation, freshness, and this unexpected, or this joy comes unexpectedly, as the sadness does, but the joy comes, also comes the need to express it, and express it through your voice or your art. So yeah, like expressing your joy or having expression, almost like there's like a chicken or the egg to all of this, right? Does the joy come and then you express it, or do you express something and it brings you joy? I don't know. So the siddhi is beauty, and almost like when you, I think he says it right here, just really simply and really succinctly, but here in the Siddhic frequency is this light is all that exists, and as it shines through as a human awareness, it becomes what we call beauty. I almost just want to say, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking, as we become aware of it, we just see beauty in it. So we see beauty in like the waves, the ups and downs, the sympathetic, parasympathetic, and we just see how there is a beauty and a rhythm to things. So enjoying it and seeing it for the beauty that it is. I just really love this first gene key. It made me feel so at home with kind of the nature of taking a break, or the nature of feeling like things aren't in order and being okay with it. I'm just saying, okay, like something good is going to come out of this. So I don't have to worry. I don't have to sit in fear. And this is part of my mission and part of something that I like started understanding and learning a long time ago, but really came into my world a few years ago, is this need for people to start accepting themselves for who they are. Because underneath the trauma, underneath all of it, there is like this perfection that we will never achieve. But if we can at least get ourselves to the level of understanding that that's where we should be and that's where we're going, and that it's not about survival anymore, it's not about being in harm's way all the time, that we actually have it pretty good for the most part. If we can heal that trauma and we can start to love each other, and when I say love each other, I mean love yourself. So when we can get through the trauma, when we can love ourselves, we then love everyone, you know, and we want to see others heal too. So there you have it. The first gene key is the male gene key. And I'm sure there's like so much more to say about this, but you guys, if you're in a depression, I mean, this isn't the only key that talks about depression. It's not the only thing that talks about depression, but if you're in a depression, don't worry. Like, just sit and observe. And I almost hate talking about this because I've never really been in a true depression that I can clinically say I was depressed. That's just not my nature. I've always been able to get out of bed. You know, I've always been able to motivate myself to do something, potentially because I am the more frenetic of the two, right? Maybe I'm more in the reactive nature all the time. So always just sit with curiosity and observe and saying like, is this me? Is this not me? Who am I? What am I being? Am I being me or am I not being me? Because you have every single right to be you, untraumatized you. You have every right to heal. You have every right to be amazing and awesome and to see who you are and to really like appreciate, and for others around you to appreciate you. Cool, hey? Okay. Have a great day.